Alright, let's face it, Vegeta's beloved in the Dragon Ball community. Many people have him as their favorite character, tons of fans out there, but he has fucked up quite a few times, screwing over everyone around him, really. And I'm taking a look at this article that has 8 times that he has screwed over everyone. It's coming from Escapist magazine. Don't let that fool you. It's actually a pretty decent article. And I know the video says there's 7 times that he fucked everyone over, but one of these is a little bit iffy, I would say. So the first one we have here is Vegeta kills Nappa for no reason. This was an interesting one that I hadn't really thought of. What they have here is Vegeta, along with his buddies Nappa and Raditz, discover that they are the last living members of their race, the Saiyans. Following a Death Ball related genocide, well, it was technically a supernova actually, if you want to go by video game terms and stuff like that, it doesn't matter. Naturally, they want to bolster their ranks up, you know, rebuild the population. So they head to Earth to recruit Goku, who's also secretly a Saiyan. Goku and Piccolo promptly kill the scout, Raditz, forcing Vegeta and Nappa to get their hands dirty. However, Nappa loses a single battle. Vegeta decides that he is no longer worthy of his life. He blasts him into oblivion, way to ensure the extinction of his race you're so proud of. I mean, I think this first one's interesting because on one hand, they're right with the fact that, you know, they could rebuild the Saiyan race, right? And he pretty much made it even harder to do so. Obviously, we have half Saiyans. We got Pan, who's like a quarter Saiyan. So the Saiyan race has kind of been rebuilt a decent amount. But I think that after Raditz dies, they kind of get the knowledge of the Dragon Balls, all that stuff. At that point, Vegeta doesn't really care about rebuilding the race. He still is very prideful of his race, I feel. But at that point, it's about getting immortality with Nappa with the Dragon Balls. So I think that's where that lies. So I don't really think that screws over everyone. I think this one's a little bit, you could really argue this one. It's not really something that screws over everyone around him. It's just kind of like, yeah, Nappa's dead. Quick question, guys. If you know, Vegeta obviously turns good eventually, very long time into the series. He doesn't really turn good until the Buu Saga, I would argue, you know, completely good. Do you think Nappa, if he had actually survived, do you think he really would have turned good too, or do you think they would have stayed evil? Do you think Nappa being there would have kept Vegeta evil forever? Let me know your thoughts on that down below. Because if that's the case, having Nappa alive would not be a good thing because Vegeta would still be evil. I think this is another one that could very well be argued, but it ultimately really did lead into a good thing. Vegeta letting Frieza know about the Dragon Balls on Namek. It reads, Vegeta and Nappa found out about the Earth Dragon Balls by listening to the transmission on Raditz's Scouter. They also learned about Goku and his crew have the ability to suppress their power levels, thus making the Scouters all but useless. As referenced in the infamous Over 9000 video, despite this, Vegeta decides to bring 2 fully functional transmitting Scouters with him on a secret mission to gather the Dragon Balls, wish for immortality, and commit treason against his master Frieza. During the battle, Earth's Dragon Balls died, along with Piccolo. But the existence of a separate set of balls on Namek is revealed. You seriously didn't think Frieza also had access to Scouter transmission logs? This is a funny one because I didn't think of this either, and they're right. If they know that they can suppress their power levels, why in the world would they even bother bringing Scouters in the first place? Obviously, plot convenience to show off, you know, to have that extra, I guess, layer to the story, to have, you know, we love numbers in the series. A lot of people love the power level, so maybe that was part of it. But they're right. If they were any knowledgeable at all, they wouldn't have brought Scouters because they were worthless. And they should have known Frieza would listen in. But the fact that Frieza did listen in, and the fact that Goku did go to Namek to help his friends, led to him becoming a Super Saiyan, of course. He would have probably never gone Super Saiyan if that weren't, you know, that event didn't take place. So him going to Namek and facing off against Frieza is a very important point in the series. If that never happened, that would have screwed everyone over, essentially. So this is actually a good thing. Now this one's true, but at the same time you can see why it's something that wouldn't happen. It says, when Vegeta doesn't take advantage of his near-death experience. So the Zenkai boost when a Saiyan becomes near-death, and they recover from that near-death or near-fatal injury, they get a power boost of some degree. It's completely random usually. It usually seems to be something that will help out with their next battle. Story convenience, right? It says, Dragon Ball Z is absolutely full of Deus Ex Machinas, Sensu Beans, fusions, the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, and of course, The freaking Dragon Balls themselves. One of the earliest of these was partway through the Namek saga, where Vegeta revealed a secret ability of the Saiyans called Zenkai. Basically, when a Saiyan is beat to the brink of death and recovers, he gets himself a power-up. Vegeta exploits this by having Krillin beat the shit out of him, and then Dende healing him. The boost Vegeta gets is so incredibly dramatic. If we're talking numbers, his fighting strength jumped from 30,000 to around 500,000. I mean, that's kind of a guess, really. We don't really know exact numbers. There's power level guys, and I think the V-Jump that has him like a 200-something thousand, but I've always argued it's definitely closer to 500,000, but I'm not writing the article. It boggles the mind that Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz, or any Saiyan before them really, wouldn't just constantly be kicking the shit out of each other and healing each other just until they become godly powerful. This is something that a lot of people talk about, and I think the reason that doesn't really happen is because would you really want to keep getting near death and have the chance that you would actually die? Like, if you're going near death, there's always a chance you could actually die, right? So I think that's it. It's also, you know, obviously plot. It would be too easy to power up. Zenkai boosts aren't even really something that's really done anymore. I mean, they should still theoretically exist, but they're not really talked about or shown off at all in the series anymore. So it's an interesting topic, but I don't think this one really screws them over, but I can see the point they're trying to make here. I feel like I'm making an argument for almost all of these, which I guess is a good thing because it gives my own spin on it. But this one right here is when he lets Cell achieve his perfect form, which I think a lot of people do point out as well. And it is something that screwed over a lot of people. But in the end, of course, it did add up to kind of a good thing. But at the same time, you can also look at it as it adding up to a bad thing. But I'll read this first. Cell, Dr. Gero's bioengineered android that is built specifically to destroy the Z-Fighters, including Vegeta, and take over the planet, is on the ropes. Thanks to the hyperbolic Deus Ex Machina chamber. That's not really that funny, but I'll move on. Vegeta has packed a year's worth of training into a day. He has become super buff and is squashing Semi-Perfect Cell like the bug he is. But in the moment of sheer stupidity, despite the warnings of everyone around him, Vegeta, in chase of a more thrilling battle, lets Cell absorb Android 18, thus achieving his perfect form. Cell then proceeds to wipe the floor with him, and Goku has to step in to save his dumbass. And Goku still doesn't save his dumbass, so, you know, it was Gohan. Goku had no chance against Cell. Let's not get that confused. Goku had absolutely no chance against Cell, and he knew that going into that fight. But regardless of that, if Cell had never achieved his perfect form, well, he wouldn't have had the fight with Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He wouldn't have gone Super Saiyan 2, even though Gohan going Super Saiyan 2 doesn't really have any effect on the story after that, with regards maybe aside from like him going all, you know, getting his potential unlocked. Goku wouldn't have died and gone Super Saiyan 3, wouldn't have gotten fusion because he wouldn't have learned it in Otherworld, all that stuff. But if he had killed Cell there, if Vegeta had killed Cell there, Buu probably wouldn't have gotten hatched because Vegeta and Goku, maybe they would have had sparring matches over the 7 years until the Buu saga. Vegeta wouldn't have wanted to really go Majin, supposedly. I don't think so, at least. I think he wouldn't have needed to do it. They would have been keeping pretty close neck and neck in terms of training. And then they could have defeated Deborah and Babidi's gang and disposed of Majin Buu. So it could have been a good thing still. So I can see both sides to this part. It could have been good, but we also would have been missing a lot of things like fusion, of course. Alright, here we have when Vegeta let Babidi control him and turned him Majin. Babidi, son of Bibidi, has come to Earth to revive his father's horrific creation, Majin Buu, which obviously we know now is not really his creation, it's someone he just kind of controlled. He's been around forever. Anyways, Goku and Vegeta go out to put an end to this at the behest of the Supreme Kai, who's basically the super god of the universe, the regular god being a small green boy. I mean, that's kind of right, but not really. Moving on. Just like with Cell, despite warnings that Majin Buu will destroy the galaxy if freed, Vegeta lets Babidi take control of his mind, corrupting him into Majin Vegeta, and allowing him to fight Goku on even grounds. So, I could see this one because the way... because of Vegeta allowing the magic to control him, is essentially what did release Majin Buu. They got enough energy to release Majin Buu. He obviously hatched out of the egg later on, and Vegeta couldn't do anything to stop Buu. Even his sacrifice was completely useless, although it was a turning point in his character, which was good. It obviously led to the fight between him and Goku. Probably wasted some of Goku's energy on Earth, which obviously later on he had to waste more going Super Saiyan 3 against Majin Buu, and that kind of consumed the timer. So I could see this one. Really the only downside if they didn't go Majin, if he didn't go Majin, we wouldn't have had, probably wouldn't have had, let's say, Fusion, wouldn't have had Ultimate Gohan, but that's really about it that I could think of. Goku would never be alive again, though. That's the thing. Goku would have gone back to Otherworld and never have been revived, essentially. He wouldn't have gotten the other Kai to give him his life, or the other Kai wouldn't have offered it to him. Then, obviously, Super would have been a lot different, right? Dragon Ball Super would have been way different. So again, there's good parts to this and there's bad parts to this. I assume this article means only Dragon Ball Z, but it was January 19th, 2016, so Super was definitely out already. I think this one's going to be interesting. When he destroys the Potara earrings, Majin Buu, who was only revived due to Vegeta's stupidity, well, I wouldn't call it stupidity, I would call it lust for battle, is kicking the crap out of everything that's thrown at him. He's already defeated Gotenks and Mystic Gohan, and is just getting stronger with each battle. Goku, in a last-ditch effort, has been given a powerful artifact by Elder Kai, the Potara earrings. The earrings will fuse any two fighters together, multiplying their power and fighting strength. He manages to convince Vegeta and to fuse with him, but the two are absorbed by Buu following a short battle. Inside Buu, the fusion is nullified, and Vegeta, rather than saving the earrings for when they got out of the pink monster so they can refuse and finally put an end to Buu, he destroys it. So I think this one can be completely disregarded, and the reason I would say that is because once they got out of Buu, the only thing that is kind of like bad was when they were inside of Buu and Super Buu came out. Goku then had said, if we had the Potara earrings, we could win this fight easily. But it didn't really mean anything because once Kid Buu came around, Goku himself crushed the Potara earrings that the next pair he was given. And he says, we can do it on our own. We don't need fusion for this fight. He's much weaker. He didn't say weaker, but you know. Kid Buu is much weaker than Buuhan. That's why Goku crushed the Potara earrings, because they could fight him on his own without the help of the fusion dance, or the Potara earrings. So this one, completely disregarded. When he neglected to tell everyone that he had a younger brother. I mean, I could see this one, but you're pushing it a little bit here, Escapist. Vegeta doesn't really like weaklings, we get it. His brother is one of the weakest of the bunch, but by the time Dragon Ball Z starts, pure-blooded Saiyans are pretty much hard to come by. So it seemed quite a bit stupid that Vegeta would keep his brother a secret from the entirety of the series. I'm sure between him and Goku, they would have been able to find him and train him and have another Super Saiyan backing them up for stuff like Cell, Buu, would have been nice help. I mean, Tarbell's not even really a fighter, he really is weak, so I think the fact that them training him would have been pointless. I don't think he really is someone that needs to... He doesn't fight his own battles. There's just something that doesn't really happen. And obviously, Tarbell wasn't something that was invented until 2008 with Yosun Goku and his Friends Return special. So, I mean, that's kind of a reason why that didn't happen, but I can see the point you're making, but I don't think he really would have helped out at all in the series. So those are 7 times Vegeta fucked up. A lot of them, I'm pretty much argued for all of them, I would say, and I think that's a good thing that I could argue. Some of them were for both sides, so... You can check out this article down below. There is a bonus one at the very end, number 8. There is a bonus one. If you want to look at that one, it's a little bit different from the other ones. So you can check that out in the link down below. I didn't talk about it here. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I know it's a little different from what I usually do. I don't usually look at articles. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Sorry if I sound a little bit rough. I'm getting over being sick, so I apologize for that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video regardless. Please drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. Dislike it if you hated it. And comment your thoughts down below. But other than that, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and of course, I'll catch you later.